Hello, and welcome to Rocket Fuel, your daily update of everything that's happening in Rocket Pool and Ethereum communities. My name is Wack. Today is August 19th, and today's episode is going to cover a brand refresh for Rocket Pool coming right up. We're going to be talking about making rollups better, trustless AGI agents, huge update on the strategic ETH reserve companies, and we're going to be talking about the impact of Genius Act on crypto and a whole lot more. So let's get started.
10, 9, ignition sequence start, 6.
Okay, so here's the news that people in the Rocket Pool community have been waiting years to see. And this is the update from Langas. He says, hey everyone, over the next few days, you'll start to see some updates to the Rocket Pool brand, especially around our logos. And he says the refresh is being done together with the community and in particular the GMC to bring more consistency across all platforms, whether from the core team, or community-led initiatives. And he says, thank you for Sleety for his awesome work on this. So if you actually have a look at the thumbnail now on the top left for the Rocket Pool Discord, it looks like this really nice, like cleaner version of the logo. And the GMC and the ping server and the IMC's logos definitely do not look as nice in comparison. But what you can do as well is you can have a look at the Rocket Pool website, and they have updated that now as well with new versions of the logo as well. So I guess this is just the beginning of the rebrand stuff. The logos at the start, and then there'll be like font changes, and just like the art, I think, is just going to get much cleaner. So that, of course, is really, really awesome to see. Okay, that was it for Rocket Pool news. So let's move on to some Ethereum news. And there was some controversy about some decisions from the Optimism team over the last couple of days, yesterday, talking about becoming stage 2. And there's this deleted tweet here, but there was a lot of drama around it. And Ozomoto says, damn, it's very upsetting to see Optimism peeps sharing this take. Makes me feel like you guys have given up on reaching stage 2 internally. And then there's Mark here, who is the co-founder of Optimism, says, taken from L2B, stages don't reflect rollup security. There are a ton of ways to improve security that don't move the needle in the stages framework. The stages framework is just the shelling point for progress in security. And then there's a thing here that says, please mind stages do not reflect rollup security. It's a screenshot from the L2B website. And here's a motto again, says, damn, it's very sad to see that Optimism will never provide its users with the same assurance as Ethereum does. God damn it. So now you might be thinking, stage 2 security, what's that all about? What are Optimism saying here? So there's still some question marks around what they're fully saying, but the main thing that will give a rollup a stage 2 instead of a stage 1 is an exit window, basically, for updates. So the language is such that there's at least a week before the update happens for people to exit the L2, otherwise, or the rollup even, because otherwise they can get their transactions censored. And a lot of people, a lot of rollups have gone up to layer 1, layer 1, stage 1 on the rollups. They've got a whole bunch of other things, qualities and attributes in place, but they just don't have, this one, like Arbitrum is very close. And it looks like Mark here is saying that that's something that the Optimism stack is not prioritizing. So there was a whole lot of discussion here. So Hani Abu says that's just legal disclaimer, so nobody comes to sue them. Talking about L2B, it says what you're really saying is, as the founder of Optimism, is that Optimism will never be stage 2. And then people are saying, can you confirm that you don't care about being stage 2 anymore? Gabriel Shapiro here had an interesting take. He said that never delete stuff like this. It makes it look 10 times worse. I think the world and crypto community are prepared to accept all kinds of nuanced security sensitive trade-offs regarding L2s. That's the power of the L2 model. It says, but you should make them explicit. If stage 2 is no longer a plausible desired target for the project overall, in your opinion, one of its founders, key leaders, just tell the people that, explain the reasons why, and you'll get less outrage. So M-Team here says, totally agreed. Apparently Optimism thinks the theta is rather large, but for some reason won't clearly communicate why, and their plans for stage 2 or other security upgrades. And then there's this idea of actual security and L2B stages, and there's a divergence. So yeah, there was a lot of like maybe storm in the teacup, maybe not a storm in the teacup, but definitely some tensions and drama there about how it's all going to go. So this was the original tweet that was deleted. So it was from Eli Ben Sassoon, who is the founder or one of the lead people on Starknet, saying blockchains are meant to be decentralized. So are the L2s that scale them. Change my mind. And then Mark replied to that saying blockchains are meant to solve real world problems. Decentralization is a vibe and not quantifiable. If the wrong things are decentralized, it will be difficult to get users and spread the ideals of decentralization. This is what is better, something 50% decentralized with millions of, and that's what it is there basically. And that was the tweet that was deleted that caused the drama and the tension. So yeah, there's a lot of nuance here, of course, and it's not just about having that stage 2 badge, but that needs to be explained and clarified, just like Gabe Shapiro said, and I guess you didn't get that. And then just as that drama was happening with Optimism, here Nethermind working with Tyco are actually pushing forward a really cool tech. So they are introducing something called Catalyst, which is now making base rollups 20 to 30 times faster. So a Tyco stack pre-confirmation solution built by Nethermind in collaboration with Tyco, and its Catalyst delivers 2-second transaction pre-confirmations with a roadmap that keeps decentralization front and center. So this was a really nice upgrade, kind of like sitting in contrast with the stuff coming out of the Optimism team. And so this is live with whitelisted pre-confirmation providers, and it's a full decentralization. That's what they want to go to post whitelist. And this was then quote tweeted by Ericsson, who works with Tyco, says now anyone can build rollups with multiple sequences, soon to be permissionless. What's your excuse? So the idea of Tyco from the very beginning was to try to push, this base rollup idea as much as possible, and it looks like they're making good progress on that, and hopefully they'll get to a stage 2 soon. Let's actually have a quick look at L2B and see where we stand with the different rollups. So if you see Arbitrum 1 is on stage 1, and the exit window, that's the one that's stopping it from being stage 2, and that it's saying here, it's saying that it's saying that the exit window is 10 days, but everything else is all green. And then with base and OP mainnet, they have no exit window. So that's the main issue there, and that's the problem. Is it looks like they might not be developing out that tech. So yeah, it's I'm trying to see if there's any with exit window. Yeah, infinite exit window there, and there's this optimistic rollup that has infinite exit window as well. So I guess the longer the exit window, the better it is for those. But there's just some difficulties attached to that, I guess. But the thing is as well, a lot of other rollups are built on top of the OP stack. So if the OP stack is saying that they prioritize that work, then what's going to happen with Base, what's going to happen with Unichain, what's going to happen with Ink, etc. It's going to be interesting to see how that all gets developed out. Okay, there was some really, really cool update coming out of from Binji here about the EIP 8004, and this is from David, and Binji says this is seriously gearing up for AI. This is just dropped. It's called Trustless Agents, and here's what you need to know. So the first thing is Binji said it kind of sets the stage, saying that humans interacting on blockchain, that's all cool, but very soon it's going to be agents, millions of agents, if not many more than that. And they will want something that they can where they can transact and negotiate and perhaps form their own coalitions. But what they need is something they can trust and something that they can work on, and know that they are going to be okay and that no one can block them or censor them. And that means that the only credible place where they can build will be on Ethereum. And Now, the idea is, that's why we need this ability to have AI agents built on Ethereum. So how is that going to happen? Well, it looks like that's ERC 8004. So this is building on the agent-to-agent protocol, and it gives the agents shared language, and also introduces a bunch of different checks as well. So this is a practical ERC that can be used and iterated in the wild, and specifics can stay off-chain, but the skeleton of trust lives on Ethereum. So it lets agents that have never seen each other meet in the wild and still transact with confidence. So this is really, really cool. And here's ERC information. If you want to go and read that, you can go and check that out. But yeah, I really like that this is really building for the future. I think that's one of the really cool things that I love about Ethereum, is that the idea always is that, let's build for what's coming next instead of just what we have right now. And the realization that, the whole world, well, a lot of the world will be moving on to agent commerce and agent interaction. That will be a really cool way to kind of get ahead of that and make sure that that's getting built on Ethereum. So yeah, that's a really nice update there. Okay, there's some need for shaming wallets. So in the last Ethereum hard fork, Pectra, we had the ability of smart wallet functionality being brought to regular wallets, and MetaMask and a couple of others were quick to set up this. This is EIP 7702. However, a whole bunch of wallets didn't actually upgrade on this, and the biggest ones are put in the screenshot of shame. So that's Rabbi, Phantom, Rainbow Wallet. These are popular wallets, and they still haven't integrated EIP 7702. That's just really bad. So yeah, they need to fix up. They need to get this done. And Pectra has been live for over 100 days, and they're still not ready for that. Now I use MetaMask. I also use Rainbow Wallet, and they need to get better soon. So yeah, let's see if that we can put some social pressure on these wallets to try to get them to incorporate 7702 as soon as possible, because it really does make a difference to user experience. I think the changes are really needed. So hopefully they can get some work done on that. Okay, Etherealize here shared news of ETH NYC that took place over the weekend, and they said that it was epic. Institutional adoption is coming to Web3, and Ethereum is at the forefront, and they had new prices, high prices, and everyone was bullish, and it looked like everybody had a lot of fun. So they were co-hosting the next Fin Summit, which is bringing institutions together, and then the whole bunch of people from Etherealize and Electric Capital and others talking about commercializing the Ethereum ecosystem, and then the ETH Global, of course, this was part of ETH Global, and there was lots of talks going on with that as well, and there was more information here about from Electric Capital and others. But people, I saw a lot of pictures of people kind of hanging out and meeting each other in New York, and it looked like a lot of fun was had. So hopefully these are the kind of events that we can set up quite frequently in order to get Ethereum people and Wall Street people talking to each other. But yeah, that's really exciting stuff. Okay, let's talk about stablecoins on Ethereum. And stablecoins on Ethereum are pretty much up only. So if we have a look over here at DeFi Llama is showing that stablecoins on Ethereum in the last week are up by 3.61%. The stablecoin market cap on L1 alone now is $142 billion, with more going to Base and Arbitrum, and OP mainnet. Base has got just over 4 billion, Arbitrum has got under 4 billion. So just between ETH and all its L2s, I think we're somewhere around 160 billion of 275 billion market cap, and that is up in 7 days by 2%, which is a really big increase. Here we've got a tweet from Patrick saying that in the month since the Genius Act was passed into law, the total stablecoin supply has grown by $16 billion. This past week alone, they added another $6.75 billion. It says the transition from analog to digital finance isn't leveling off, it's accelerating. And the target of $3.7 trillion of stablecoin by the end of the decade is looking more realistic. So what's really great here is that it's all on Ethereum. Well, a lot of the growth is happening on Ethereum, and of course that's we want to see more of that. We want to see more of this growth coming to Ethereum, and Ethereum really like cementing itself as the home of stablecoins in crypto. That is awesome. Okay, let's talk about the Ethereum treasury stuff, like the strategic ETH reserve companies. Like, these are treasury companies that are buying ETH. There's a whole bunch of them with big updates over the last few days. So BTCS on Monday announced that they are doing a dividend, a one-time blockchain dividend. They're calling it a dividend, and they're giving 5 cents per share in ETH. However, if you transfer your shares to be held by the BTCS transfer agent, then you would also get an extra 35 cents per share. So in total, you if you hold your ETH with if you hold your BTCS shares with BTCS, this transfer agent, until January 26th, you will be getting 40 cents per share in their dividend. So that is actually really, really cool to see. There's more information on their website. They've got a dividend.com website that you can go and read about that information. But this was actually like really positive. This is really positive to their share price, and people liked it quite a lot, so their share price went up yesterday. And then Charles here as well kind of gave out the reasoning for it. He says, we're rewarding shareholders and we block predatory short sellers, cut manipulation, and build a stronger base. He says short sellers are betting will dilute, our loyalty program fights back. So the largest shareholder of BTCS, let me be perfect clear, my goal is to grow our market cap primarily through share price appreciation, not toxic dilution. I have and will continue to aggressively protect our company and our shareholders from institutions that short our stock to profit at your expense. So there's some nice little fighting talk there from Charles as well, which is really, really awesome to see. We had an update here from Bitmine, and Bitmine, Tom Lee is just buying obscene amounts of ETH. So their holdings went up from 1,150,000 all the way to 1,523,000 in the last 7 days. And that is an increase of 33% nearly in their holdings, which is just astonishing. They didn't stop buying then. Here, look on chain is found some wallets that belong to Bitmine, and it's showing that they bought another 52,000 ETH, which is $220 million just today, as the prices kind of dipped a little bit. And now they've gone up to 1,575,000. So I don't think when Tom Lee said that he wants to own 5% of ETH, I don't think anyone thought it was possible. He's already a quarter of the way there. So it's just astonishing just how fast, nearly a third of the way there, I guess, just how fast he's raising this ETH. It's just truly, truly like mind-boggling numbers about how fast it's happening. So yeah. On top of that, we have ETHZilla making an announcement, and they're saying that they're changing their ticker. Their previous ticker, there was 180 Life Sciences. So they have evolved now, and ETHZilla has got the ticker ETHZ. So that is now findable by ETHZ. So you can feed the ETHZilla, and it says it loves ETH, and they have an update on their treasury as well, and this is from yesterday. So they now have 94,675 ETH, an average price of $3,902. So that's equivalent to around over $400 million of ETH, which is absolutely awesome. And then here was the strategic ETH reserve, showing that they increased their stack by 15% in a week, which is really nice to see. Sharplink, of course, were not ones to be left behind, although they have kind of been left behind. They're half the rate now of Bitmine, but it looks like they've got some ideas of catching up, and they purchased 143,000 ETH in the last week, bringing their total up to 740,000 ETH. So they raised $537 million through the ATM or direct offerings. So they added a lot of ETH, and they still have $84 million yet to deploy without any further ATM or direct offerings or anything like that. So they've got the capacity to really increase that amount of ETH, which is really, really cool to see. And then here, Trentok says 740,000 ETH worth $3.18 billion earns about $100 million a year in base staking yield. 10 time multiple on earnings should add around 1 billion in market cap. The current market cap is 3.3 billion. So Trend is saying that this stock is undervalued. It should be higher. Of course, I'll let you make your own valuations for what the price of the stock should be. But this is some of the idea here, that some of these ETH treasury companies are undervalued for how much ETH they hold and what they're doing with that ETH. And then Blockworks here set up treasury companies dashboard that shows different treasury companies that hold assets from different chains like Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. This one's the Ethereum dashboard, and you can see here the different companies, how much ETH they hold, and what the USD valuation of their ETH is, or their crypto is as well, and also then who's in the lead, who has the most, and trying to find their MNAV as well to see what their price multiple is on their shares, because the higher the MNAV, then the more they can tap into that ATM and get cash to buy more ETH. So there's information here about their market cap as well. So BMNR is about $10 billion, just less than that. SBET is just under $4 billion, and there's a whole bunch of others as well. So yeah, this is really, really nice data there if you are looking for that. So you can go check that out. Okay, let's talk about some other news now. And here we have Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent talking about the Genius Act and its implementation. He says this is essential to securing American leadership in digital assets. He says stablecoins will expand digital dollar access to billions across the globe and lead to a surge in demand for US treasuries, which back stablecoins. So he says it's win-win for everyone involved. The reason why I'm covering this is just because it's a huge departure from where we were under the previous regime, under the previous government, and it's just kind of astonishing to see. So yeah, it's just amazing. And finally, I just want to cover a little bit of FUD that's kind of going around about ETH and Ethereum right now. I'm not going to give them the time of day by kind of talking through what some of the FUD points have been, but they're literally BTC maxis are coming out of all the woodwork and trying to come up with whatever kind of FUD they can. So here there's Simple Mining, which is a mining company from Iowa, and they are talking about how ETH's proof of stake is the ultimate rent-seeking system, and how we should convert it all to BTC. Of course, it's absolutely bullshit. But there's some really funny quote tweets. This one I like from Leo says, one of the most brain dead argument strings I've ever seen here. A parade of tired Bitcoiner FUD. I wasn't going to waste energy debunking it, but after the author kept repeating, do you have legitimate defense for ETH? I felt compelled to respond. So Leo then kind of put a thread together talking about what the problems with that tweet thread were. But yeah, this is just brain dead. Another thing that people have been fretting about here, Eric mentions it. He says the entire timeline is bear posting digital asset treasuries. He says years of sailor buying, and he's the savior of BTC. 1 month of people buying ETH via DATs, and it's all the Ponzi that's going to crash. Ridiculous. It's going higher. So yeah, this is just a conversation that's happening on crypto Twitter about the digital asset companies and how they are bearish for ETH somehow. But anyway, I'm going to leave this episode at that point. So thank you all for watching, listening, and being part of the Rocket Fuel community. I hope you all had a good weekend. I'm back, so you'll see me tomorrow, and hopefully we'll have some positive news to cover. The price action for the last few days has been kind of brutal, and people are really feeling the little retracement. Like, I don't know why they're feeling so bad about it, because we haven't retraced that much, but hey, it's all fine. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.